Welcome back to New Cammack. In the last session, Prince Archibald Alvins was transported across the city by the secret subway system called the MKT, and began a shameful walk back to Darby Manor, the gang's home base, having failed to hitchhike. Darby's child Jade transported Augustine's torpid body back to the Tremere Chantry in the hopes that his clanmates could heal his injuries, but on the way there, she was tailed by the mysterious unmarked ambulance that has now stalked the group in 3 separate occasions and entered Camp Moonlight earlier today, according to the camp's surveillance system that Excavo now has access to. Under cover of a thick blanket of fog, the group brought Augustine into the Chantry where he was reanimated, and the ambulance turned and fled as it was being approached by Darby. We go now to the Chantry's parlor room, where the Tremere Regent Leslie Lane is first learning about the unmarked ambulance. Welcome once again to the Chantry. So you're telling me that an ambulance has been following you? Is this correct? And this has happened multiple times. Please tell me everything about your situation here, because it sounds dangerous.
And Darby, spits, fully sheriffed out, and it's like, yeah, like I was trying to say, I'm sorry for, calling in all the wagons, circling them up, and whatever you do with them, but this is the second time this ambulance has followed us through town. They make their presence felt, and then they back out. They look like they're watching us, observing us. They've gone other places we know kindred like to go. And we feel that their intentions are not wholesome in regard to our kind.
What other places are you referring to that this ambulance has gone to?
I think it's just when we've been here.
Well, no,
they've come. Here.
Camp Moonlight, right? Didn't we?
We weren't there, but I saw them. I saw them approach the camp. It was around noon today. Middle of the day. They were there for a couple hours and then they left, and I don't really know what they were doing there.
So they're out and about during the day.
Okay, well, yes. Then it's at least not driven by kindred. So have you seen the driver? Have you interacted with the driver? Has there been any overt attack attempted by this ambulance?
Overt attack, no. But we did. Attack. First time they met us here, they followed us here. They did get out, and we saw them. They was human looking.
Did they run? Did they run at your vehicle? Do they have
no
weapons?
No run. One is named Perry Medic.
If that is your real name.
I did. Is this Mars? I get to the R's.
Darby looks around, doesn't understand why anybody would think that is funny.
Are you laughing at my accent?
So, I think it's important to try to ascertain what the motivations of the person driving this ambulance might be. They had an opportunity to attack, and they did not. It would seem like perhaps they're spying on you.
Yeah, that's right. I think they're following us, and I think they're just trying to watch.
But it seems like they've made no attempt to keep themselves concealed, which spies would usually do.
That's what I'm saying. It's confusing. It's pretty brazen. But they don't act like they could take us in a fight. But they don't seem too scared of us tracking them down neither.
How did they catch up to you? How were they following you? Were they nearby when you?
I don't know how they found us eventually. I don't know how they found us initially, but they used the siren on the ambulance to follow us through town, and I gave them a pretty good job of trying to lose them.
That may have been why they were following us, was because your driving was noticeable. Noticeably.
The prince can say, I did not start to floor it until they already turned their sirens on and gave us a business. It was in reaction to them making a play behind our car.
Well, did you successfully lose them when they were following you?
No.
No.
They stayed right on us.
Clarification. What actually happened in that scene was Darby did lose them when he did that very dangerous turn in the intersection. The ambulance. They were at such a they were at such a high rate of speed that they blew right past you, and you completely lost them. But a little while later, they found your car again. That's why in the intro to the series I say that the ambulance had followed a car 3 times, because that was technically twice, and then the third time was with Jade.
Got it. Okay. Well, if we could retcon a little bit, because I do.
We'll say you convey all that to Leslie.
Sure. Yeah, I think that was the first time we came here was when they followed us like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was a while ago.
And so,
Andy, if you have those sound files, if you could just go back and edit those old episodes to line that up, that'd be great.
Just paste it right in. That would be great. So I mean, I think Darby does convey the true information, but it's confusing because they would look. As soon as I thought the foes was on us, I was flying through town. I was flooring it, and somehow, not 12 blocks after I lost them, they was right behind me again. They got to have some way of tracking us.
Yes, it seems like too much of a coincidence. I have not heard of anyone else being followed by this ambulance. I haven't heard this from the other kindred in the city, but you were found.
How do we get the word out to everyone? Because I think people need to start being on the lookout.
Well, in lieu of Delacroix's monthly gathers, phone tree basically is what we do. But I think,
where's the tree at?
We'll go over that later.
Okay.
You were found while you were driving, which is a difficult thing to do, twice. Jade appears to have also been found while she was driving. Jade, did this ambulance start following you immediately after you started driving, like it was nearby and spying on you? And Jade replies, no, I was driving for maybe 5 minutes before I saw it behind me. And I was really nervous when I was driving too. So like I was checking my mirrors, and it definitely wasn't behind me until I was already halfway across town. That's when it showed up. Leslie says, well, if they do in fact have a way of tracking you, I can think of 3 ways that might be accomplished. Either they have some magical means of tracking you. This is what's first on my mind as a Tremere. Or they could have a mundane mechanical, electronic means of tracking you. Or there might be a person who knows about your whereabouts who's feeding them this information. Now, the fact that who was in the cars when they were followed? Because it wasn't the same vehicle, is my understanding. Was it ever the same person?
Yes. Jade was in the vehicle every time. Initially we were all in one, right? And we drove, and that's when they lost, and they found us again. And then this time it was just Jade and Augustine, although he may have been below the window, so they may not have seen. But
I've
Jade
been in all 3 of the vehicles
time.
with Jade.
Jade starts to look nervous and says, like, I have no idea how they could be tracking me, and I'm not feeding them information or anything like that. So I hope they're not. I don't know how they would be doing that.
Well, hey, put your contents in your pockets on the table and let Excavo take a look at them.
Jade immediately, nervously pulls out her cell phone and unlocks it and drops it on the table and raises her hands up.
Same for you, Tree Man. If they're using some kind of electric surveys, then you need to get your shit checked out as well.
Could we reset your phone? Do you have your information backed up to somewhere?
it seems like it's really important to eliminate any possibilities that they might be tracking my phone. So if you can reset my phone, just do it. Just do it now.
Okay. Beep boop, beep boop.
I think
beep boop, beep boop.
mayhaps a gentle reset is too easy.
We want another SIM card.
Would you kindly Darby this phone?
We'd want to get another SIM card to make sure, or get
no
another phone
need.
entirely.
We have just the man.
Look, we got no reason to suspect that the phone is how they're doing it. I mean, it's just one thing. All we know is that these two people was in the car both times it got found, all the times it got found. So it's
all right, this will at least eliminate that possibility.
Was anyone who Leslie says was anyone who was in one of the vehicles who was being followed also in Camp Moonlight when it appeared, perhaps sleeping in Camp Moonlight when the ambulance showed up?
Well, I mean, the first time we was driving, we had the body of Barry Bilson with us in the car. He had been at Camp Moonlight in some kind of scuffle with a man/bat creature.
An involuntary sleep, if you will.
This was before we noticed on the cams that they had been there.
This is the bat creature, because we are humoring the revenants.
Yeah.
I heard about Barry's encounter with the fungal monster, which is something that
Man-Bat.
I would like to see attended to.
That is his alter ego.
Can we think of any connection between both of those cars and Camp Moonlight? Maybe an agenda that might be.
Oh dear. Oh man. So I think Steve had an insight that I don't think that Darby would have. So I'm not sure how to play that.
We knew about there was a creature that was mentioned to us when we came here, and we assumed that is what happened to Barry at the camp. So maybe because we have knowledge of the creature.
Yeah,
Darby starts staring real suspiciously at a tiny little furry friend of the party that has been hanging out, and starts looking side-eyed at the bear. Doesn't say anything.
The bear looks side-eyed at you as well,
and starting to put some stuff together.
Comrade, if that is your real name.
Are people that mad?
How dare you stare suspiciously at my furry compatriot?
Well, now think about it. That's like some kind of special park bear, and oh no. So the bear was in the car every time.
Except when we arrived.
What? No, it's been with you, son.
But except when we arrived. Well, no, never. I suppose every time we've departed.
It was with you every single time. Oh no. Oh no.
But it was not at Camp Moonlight when the ambulance arrived. But you're saying perhaps the ambulance could have been searching for it?
Well, no. If they could track it, then there's no reason for them to go back to Camp Moonlight unless they wanted to investigate circumstances surrounding a certain incident that took place there recently.
I find these accusations to be flagrant and unproductive.
Leslie asks, Augustine, you appear to be this bear's keeper. May I inspect it?
And inspect only! But yes, you may. Gingerly hand the bear belly up over to Leslie.
Leslie holds up the bear cub and seems to be like checking all around it, behind its ears, like moving his fingers through its fur as if trying to look for perhaps marks that might be on its skin. He like props open its jaw and glances in its mouth. and then stares really intently into the bear cub's eyes and hands it back and says, well, there are no obvious signs that any ritual has been performed on the bear. Of course, if there were some mundane electronic means of tracking you, a device might be inside of the bear. You could open it up to find out.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they got like a tag on the inside of it.
Could we not just use a metal detector?
Excavo, I knew there was a reason you were in the party. Please, magnetize my bear.
Is there a metal detector or a magnet? Do we have a magnet?
How do they work?
I don't know, Juggalo.
I believe if you go to our refrigerator, we have a few magnets on it over in the kitchen.
Like a powerful magnet?
Powerful enough to hold up some photos and some drawings that the revenants have done of course, Batman.
Sure. We get this. Is this a man-bat magnet?
It's just a plain like square magnet. And he gestures over the kitchen, and you go in and you find it easily.
I am very doubtful that it will be powerful enough, but we can try it.
You pass the magnet over the bear's body. It tries to grab at the magnet. It thinks that you're playing some sort of game, but nothing. You don't feel the magnet being attracted to anything in the bear cub's body.
That's what I thought. This is just a fridge magnet.
Augustine's a lore challenge, Graham.
Yes.
I want to understand something about ghouled animals. If this bear, from drinking that blood that it drank, is ghouled now, would that allow for some type of supernatural way for its owner to find it and maybe track us like that?
Basically, you're talking about like blood magic rituals, which Darby definitely would not have any specific knowledge of.
No, definitely not.
And
I would not know. Would Leslie know? Do you ask this to Leslie?
Yeah.
But Darby.
Okay, in that case, maybe I'll just give that information to Leslie and see if that makes any difference. Like, that little critter drank from this real strange pool of blood that we found over where the Nosferatu like to hang out. If that is relevant to you at all.
Leslie says, wait, where was this?
We went on a subversive expedition into the underground where fast things pass. Helicopters in the background. And in our endeavors, encountered a pool of what I assumed was water, but my bear has been acting strange.
Oh, did this water? But did it smell like blood?
I am not of that particular faculty in my life. I don't go sniffing and huffing things as most vagabonds do.
Was this
I just assumed it was water and let my bear cub quench himself upon its vast and mighty pools.
Would we have smelled the blood if there was blood in that water?
I believe at least one of you did.
I thought we had it confirmed to us that it was blood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we knew that it was.
So we would know. Okay.
That's the reason Darby is bringing this up. Like, we knew that the bear drank weird blood down in the sewers.
So,
Leslie asks,
definitely it
was this in a Nosferatu area underground, perhaps?
Mm-hmm.
Invariably, friend.
I believe that the bear drank from what our Nosferatu brethren call a spawning pool. This is a pool of water mixed with Nosferatu blood that the the clan tends to leave so that they could passively ghoul whatever animals tend to come by. Did you see animal prints around?
There's a swarm of these rats. They attacked us.
Yes, that was definitely the location of, I believe, this city's spawning pool. The thing about spawning pools is they're not pools of blood. They're pools of water that have blood mixed into them, and they only ghoul animals over a fairly long period of time. Animals have to drink continuously from them for a while. It doesn't work as efficiently as feeding an animal your blood directly. So if that bear only drank from it in one
time,
yeah, I wouldn't worry that much about it.
With one hand around its collarbone and the other hand around the bottom of the bear's jaw, I stop what I appear to be doing and look over to Leslie and, you mean my bear can be saved?
We don't think it's ghouled.
I don't think any harm has come to it. I think it may have just drank.
I cease preparations to snap its neck.
Oh, damn.
Jesus.
And then give it a quick scruff as though nothing were wrong in the first place.
Who kills a defenseless bear?
I feel like the bear is side-eyeing you now.
Augustine, you get a phone call. Your phone starts ringing.
Ring, ring.
It is Feather who's calling you.
Phone.
You pick it up?
Ah, good friend, how goes? What can this man do for you?
Hey, man, it's Feather. Hey, I was wondering what have you and your friends been like up to lately?
I feel like that's a loaded question.
Have you been over here at Camp Moonlight?
Not as of late. From what well does this question spring? I need information, friend.
Augustine, like I feel like we vibed. Like I gave you some weed when you came over here. You talked about like helping us out with our plants. Mm-hmm. I feel like I got a good report with you, or yeah, that's right. So like, just one-on-one. If you guys were over here at like Camp Moonlight,
I would invariably inform you of such activities. Yes, indeed. We have not been as late. I must resist an apology, as I've been meaning to, but we've been quite preoccupied. But what has been occurring that provokes you to such line of questioning? I must know.
Well, have any of your friends been over here, like, in the past day? Do you know, I mean, all those weird guys that you showed up with who are all new in town?
Nay! Alas! They have not. We have been endeavoring quite vigorously. However, we do have a suspicious tale that we don't remember being born with that has been following us everywhere we go. Have you any information about such beings?
Like a vestigial tale?
It's a metaphor!
Just full Shatner.
No, I don't know anything about tales, dude. I don't understand. Okay, so you know that bear that Darby punch murdered when you guys were over here?
Self-defense punch murder.
Nearest my recollection, the court was still hung on such an experience. Supposedly, there was a hearty defense of self.
Wait, but you remember?
Yes, I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with the no longer familiar bear. Yes.
Okay, so the plan was all of us were gonna like eat the bear. It's a bunch of meat, and most of us eat meat. So well, okay. So I was gonna get like a butcher. There's a butcher. There's a family-run butcher shop that's not far from us. and I was going to set an alarm so I could wake up during the day and call him and be like, I got this big fucking bear. Come on over and chop it up, and like you can keep some and like give us the rest. So I set an alarm. I woke up and I called. For some reason, I wasn't getting any answer from this butcher place. I set another alarm to like wake up later and call him again, and I slept through it. So I woke up later that night and I went outside. Bear was gone. Just totally missing. But that's not the weirdest part. And
go on, friend.
And you swear that you and your friends have not been over to the camp?
Swear by the vines tangled around my aorta.
So someone took the bear, and someone took Brother Jeremiah.
What?
His memorial stone had been knocked over, and someone dug him up. There was his burial site was excavated. His coffin was missing, and there was a big pile of dirt next to it. Like someone took shovels and they dug him up. And Augustine, everyone at the camp is so fucked up about this. No one understands like why, who could have done this, why they would have done this, why this happened. And the only thing I can think of is like no one else but like us knows that Brother Jeremiah was, you know, like wanted like a vampire. And
by God, friend, this cannot stand. I believe our quandaries are related, nay, intertwined. We have been tailed by a mysterious duo of people with presumably false names, if not just murderously mean names bestowed onto them by their parents. We have reason to believe that they have visited Camp Moonlight at the hour of noonish a few days ago. I will not tell you of these sources. However, they did come in an ambulance.
It was earlier today, actually.
It was earlier today at noon.
They were there at the hour of noon, whereabouts of noon today. One Perry Medic. Does that ring a bell?
No. It doesn't.
Did anybody show up in a wambulance?
No, I don't think so. Why do you think that an ambulance came here? I mean, that would be a good way to like transport a huge fucking dead bear and also a coffin, but
I cannot, for security reasons, cannot disclose the source of this knowledge, but I know it to be true.
Okay, are you guys coming here and like spying on us or something? I gotta be straight with you. Like, Augustine, understand this from our perspective. Like, no one else knows that Brother Jeremiah was a vampire. I knew because you know his sub-child vampire ghouled me, and I got to know like pretty much most of the other vampires in town, and I know that they're like generally trustworthy. This is a pretty like safe city in your vampire community, but you guys are new in town. You show up, you're all acting weird. I hear that you guys like took over the city, and then all of a sudden, as soon as you guys show up, someone like takes Brother Jeremiah. And the only reason I could think of anyone to do that is because it has something to do with him being a vampire. Because like no one just digs up normal like bodies in cemeteries and stuff. And you guys, I don't know you guys, and you're super suspicious. So like I gotta assume that you're behind it, that you stole them for some reason. And I just gotta say, like, it really hurt our community. Everyone is devastated by this, and if you needed his body for something, if you're gonna like wake him up from his vampire sleep, like you could have done it in a way that like it wouldn't have been blatantly obvious to everyone that he was dug up. This was like whoever did this just didn't get
comrade. Comrade, if that is your real name.
It's not.
I don't care. I have but a couple things to tell you. This vine sprouts a new limb, and from it, deception. And it is not from us, my friend! We are not here voluntarily. We are not taking over your town. We were abducted! We are here for purposes unknown, but not of ill intent. I need truth and honesty from you. We have no ill will against Camp Moonlight or your smelly hippie armpits. I need to know if there was an ambulance there and you were lying.
No, dude, I woke up and Brother Jeremiah was dug up and gone, and the bear was gone, and we looked, everyone knew right away because everyone was freaking out and everyone went all around, all through the camp. We didn't find the bear. We didn't find Brother Jeremiah. We didn't find an ambulance. No one saw an ambulance. Everybody is trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And if anyone saw an ambulance, they would have said something. They would have told
Then consider us an ally, as this seems to be a related development. But I can assure you, we have tiny vehicles due to some primate that decided to not get an SUV. We could not have possibly hosted an extra body in any of our vehicles, though I wish we could have.
A four-seater, like it's fine.
Maybe not in one.
Shut your damn mouth, Darby! Can you not see I'm on the phone?
Well, Augustine, then obviously you couldn't have taken the bear if you have tiny vehicles. Thank God you have that out.
Is this your personal number? If we do discover any related information, may I contact you via this phone number?
Yeah, call me right away.
The helicopter.
Because I don't
Was
know.
not the body in a Lamborghini in Hangover?
Also, okay, so
I don't know what to tell them. I don't. I kind of know a little bit more than anyone else because, dude, I know that the dude was a vampire, and when crazy, shady shit like this happens, it's probably, vampire shit. But, I can't... Everyone doesn't know anything that's fucking them up, and I know this one little thing, and I can't tell them. If you know anything at all, let me know, and everyone needs to know what the fuck happened to Brother Jeremiah, okay?
Comrade, I will, if that is your real name,
it's still not.
I will tell you whatever I know as I know it. In the meantime, stand by and stand ready. If we find anything out, I will inform you. In the meantime, I need you I need you to develop any practical projectiles you fathomably can muster in that beautiful oasis of yours. On the off chance we need some sort of defense, mount defense! And I will inform you as I become available with information. In the meantime, who the hell through which you provide cell service? Because the call clarity from the middle of the woods is incredible.
Oh no, we're not that far from the city. So yeah, there's a. I mean, it's not a great signal, but we got signal out here. So
well, fair enough. I need to reevaluate my cellular provider. Oh wait, never mind. It was given to me.
Hey, I gotta get back, and I mean, everyone's trying to do ritual. Darby. Everyone's trying to do they're doing a drum circle to try to get out some of these feelings. I gotta go. I gotta let you go. But if you know anything, let me know. If there are any developments on my end, dude, I'll let you know. So I gotta let you go. Okay.
Consider the alliance made permanent. God bless you and God bless America. Godspeed. Click. Don't even wait for a response. Just hang up.
For funsies, since we weren't on the phone, could Augustine recount what happened?
Yeah, absolutely.
How'd it go?
My God, can you believe it? They're accusing me of sedition.
Leslie asks, so what was that all about?
Leslie, have you, by any stretch of the imagination, heard of a man named Brother Jeremiah?
Oh, yes, he was the founder of Camp Moonlight. He assembled it some...
Observing your tenses, clearly you, speaking in the past tense, are aware of his demise.
Yes, it is my understanding that he was... from what I heard, he was injured. He was attacked by a mortal and shot a whole bunch in what would have looked like a fatal attack, and after that he died, according to his followers. But it's been our understanding that he actually fell into torpor, perhaps even voluntary torpor, to maintain the ruse that he was mortal and not, a kindred. So it has been our understanding that that Jeremiah Cotton has been in torpor and in a burial place, and at some point in the future will probably wake up and rejoin us.
Alas, can I, as despite different branches of Tremere, trust that you understand the Tremere oath of loyalty and discretion? I extend my hand for the secret handshake.
There isn't one of those, and even if there were, if you do it in front of all these other people, it would stop being secret. So Leslie merely sort of nods in a very slightly perturbed way to agree that yes, he knows the oath.
After a few seconds of uncomfortably holding out my fist for a bump and not receiving reciprocity,
he looks quite confused about the fist, and he's waiting for you to, like he's waiting for you to. Leslie holds out his hand like this underneath your fist.
After a few seconds of uncomfortably holding out our appendages, I slap my fist against his open hand and go, "He's been exhumed!"
Oh, I thought you were gonna hand me something. Wait, exhumed by his followers?
We don't know. Either by nefarious actors or by himself. We are not sure which, but I require your assistance in deducing the source of this malintent.
This is very much like watching Invader Zim.
That is why Darby's the sheriff. Your theory is he's self-abducted.
Absolutely, like watching Invader Zim.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, he abducted himself. Holy my God.
Good sir! What kind of sheriff does not see all possible alleyways for dubious actors?
Leslie says,
proceed through.
So
I'm sorry, did you say discubious?
Is that your word of the day?
It's not
word du jour?
Leslie,
what is discubious?
He has a merit that allows him to make up words. It's on his character sheet. Leslie asks, I am
still learning this language, so...
It is my understanding that you were just called by someone at Camp Moonlight who reported that Leslie appeared to have crawled out of his coffin?
He has gone without a trace, presumably exhumed and removed artificially from his immortal resting place, but if he was in false torpor, he may have exhumed himself.
A small note, Feather actually said that Leslie's coffin is also missing. Brother Jeremiah's coffin is also missing.
It looks like everything got dug up. Obviously looks like it was dug up from the outside.
Yeah, she mentioned a pile of dirt next to the hole. As if someone had shoveled it out.
as I'm trying to explain this to Leslie, I hold the bear up in front of me and explain to the bear, and your mother's carcass is gone too! Does that not enrage you? Roar!
It licks your nose.
Me too, Paddington. Me too. I go back to cradling it.
Hi, bud.
So wait a minute. All right. So we know that the bear's body disappeared, that the body and coffin that Brother Jeremiah's in is gone, and also that this very same ambulance that we've been looking for was at Camp Moonlight around noon today. That does not bode very well. That's another kindred that they is in their business, and these guys, I think that constitutes an aggressive act.
These gentlemen, this Perry medic, sounds fishy. And if my instincts about fishing have told me anything, it's that we need to bait them.
Would there have been any campers awake at that time?
Darby, care to go for a drive?
I mean,
In answer to
yes, but we're gonna make a plan
Right.
first before we all leave. So
Right.
I don't think we have a great plan yet.
No.
I think we have reason to suspect that Perry, as you referred to him, is behind what's going on here, and that they have one of us somewhere. We got to find them. That's got to be goal number one. Track these guys down. Now, Excavo recently came into possession of a pretty strong system for finding folks. So maybe we can use your newfound.
I need to get set up.
It's.
Well,
I think that the key might be to figure out what specifically they are after. What is summoning them, or what they're tracking. Once you do figure that out, then I think the best course of action is to have a plan to lead this ambulance into an ambush. Now, if these
This
are
child of yours, Darby, how long have you known her?
well,
Jade looks a little
We've seen
nervous.
them out
amount of
away
time
from
as
her.
literally all the rest of you. We met her together, man.
Right.
I cautiously remove my hand from her collarbone and the side of her head and deactivate snapping her neck.
You're talking about the bear
Jade?
or Jade?
About Jade. I just kind of
I did
apparate
not-
behind her when I ask that question, and
Isn't Jade like some kind of secret ninja? Like, I'm not really sure.
Yes.
Well, it's
wants
my-
to talk you off. I want that to play out.
It's my understanding that Augustin walked up behind Jade and didn't touch her, but was about to.
yeah, yeah,
Look.
that's better.
That's what people go.
Jade is so fixated on Darby and looking at him for signals that she doesn't notice the very questionable move that Augustin just made. Leslie continues. I think that you absolutely need to have a plan for if this ambulance appears again, and you need to plan to lead it into an ambush. Now, if these are hunters, I'm not sure if any of you have experience with hunters, the mortal religious types that know about us and are dedicated to our extermination.
Oh,
then
wait a minute. Wait a minute. You lost me. Mortal religious people that think they know better than everyone and like to shoot animals. I know all about them. Hunters.
Oh yes, they are treated as a Bigfoot hunter or any other conspiracy theorist. So they're not taken seriously. So it, I guess, helps.
I think that we can assume that the driver of this ambulance, and was there a passenger? Where did I hear a reference to two people who were?
Indeed.
There's at least
Refresh my
two.
memory. What was their other? Was it Terry or Mary?
I think it was
something?
Terry. I think it was Terry Medic, the Medic brothers.
Okay. Yes. So Terry and Perry were the two. So they're two.
I think it can be assumed that these people are aware of our world and might either be mortal hunters, or which is dangerous for us, or they could be acting in concert with other kindred. They could be ghouls, possibly. They could be mortals who don't even really know what they're doing, but are otherwise being influenced by vampires. Either way, it sounds like they need to be dealt with quickly. Now, this neighborhood is not a particularly good location for a battle. This is a residential neighborhood, and so far, our neighbors we haven't raised any suspicions. So I ask that this ambush not take place here. But you could lead them into the outskirts of the city. You could drive into the woods, or perhaps to Delacroix's warehouse.
How do you have so many locations for battle?
I have no locations for battle. I just
you
seem
to have a good idea of where to go.
We need to. I don't know about anybody else, but I need to eat before we get into anything serious.
Invariably, but before we venture forth, Leslie, we have a couple things to clear up. So
You sound like me when I can't find the right word.
Obviously, there is the ensuing debt of bringing me out of torpor, which was a nightmarish experience I hope never to experience again. However, it would appear to me that these beings, if that is their real name, were clearly aware of the nature of your residence before having followed us here. So I don't believe
what
that
makes you
adds
think
to
that?
our debt. Their behavior, their mannerisms, they clearly knew who we were and what sort of realm we exist within. They appeared to understand the nature of your residence. I do not think that marks against us. If we are to remove this threat from the Tremere tree, are we even?
I am skeptical of your interpretation, and also I believe that taking care of threats to the city falls under the general purview of your job as the Prince's Advisory Council.
Sheriff.
Falls under the job of the Prince. I am not the Prince.
No, you will be working here in the Chantry to pay off your debt to Lady Elizabeth.
Now, if I were to not just remove these two interlopers, but to rip the weed out from its stem and extract every needling root from the earth and make them suffer and be resources to the Tremere, would that interest you as an equitable exchange of debts?
Well, it sounds like you're serving your own interests in doing that, and
I have an interest in not owing anybody anything.
Well, we can discuss things later, but you will be teaching Lady Elizabeth the Green Path. If you have knowledge of rituals that none of us do, we also ask that you will be imparting some of that knowledge. This will be how you pay off your debt. Lady Elizabeth was very interested in picking up some of the Green Path, and I believe she suggested an even trade. You will need to teach her a level of the Green Path before that even trade can happen.
Perfect! Absolutely impeccable. I thought you guys were going to just high keel me. At this point, then, I get to murder for fun!
I just heard for fun!
Yeah. Leslie says, do you happen to have a bloodstone? Are you familiar with this?
entirely unfamiliar.
Okay, well, that's something we can discuss privately, but there is a way that we can prepare for you an object that you can use to track this ambulance if you ever encounter it again and then lose it. Let's go now to Archibald, Prince Archibald Alvins, who has just now arrived back at Darby Manor.
Just now.
So,
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
Could
yeah,
I see him on my phone? Just be like, what's he doing there?
I'm currently like covered in trash and rags
From all the people driving by that
clothes
threw
are all torn up.
threw shit
Get
at you.
off the street.
Mhm. My entire like face and just neck and everything is just soaked red.
Do you have a beard?
I do not. I don't think Archibald Alvins has a beard.
Okay.
I need to just draw fan art of myself. And then,
Fan art.
But I also have like a larger bottle of wine than is like available in stores. I don't know where I got it. But I have like a bigger
like a
than
huge-
standard bottle of wine.
Like a
And
club
it's really
of wine.
unclear. It is unclear like what is wine and what is blood.
Like a water jug, like a water cooler sized jug.
You have a handle
full
of wine.
No, I think bigger.
It's
I
like
think
a
obnoxiously
Carlo
large.
Rossi.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a big vessel, and I kind of like am stumbling in. I probably like trip up the steps a little bit, like fumble with my keys getting in, and then it turns out like we forgot to lock it anyway or something.
It's this big.
No,
So I kind of
it's
shuffle in, and the
yeah, it's
whole
locked.
time.
The janitor had locked it.
Yes.
So you would not know that.
Okay, cool. So I get in. I'm fumbling with my keys, and I'm muttering to myself things like, I bet everybody is just completely falling apart without me, without Archie, without the spirit of teamwork and camaraderie. I bet those guys aren't forgetting about me. I bet they aren't even advancing the plot or figuring anything out at all. And I kind of finally get the key twisted and get in. I stumble over to like a bathroom. I go in, close the door, and then suddenly the door opens and I come out and I'm fully in like tweed and burgundy once again, perfectly sober and just fucking fine.
like Superman emerging from a phone booth.
But I like to imagine
It's kind of
But
the
now
opposite.
I
It's
am-
Clark Kent, the nerdy ass Clark Kent emerging
Yeah.
from a phone booth.
like,
It's Superman. Super into Clark Kent.
and then I think I'm going to like head to the my writing desk. I'm gonna break it up, and I have a lot to talk about now because now I have experienced both the proletariat struggle. I embodied the experiences of the working class. I saw the ill effects of pollution on our environment. I saw, like, I think that in my wine drinking adventures, I now have a lot of, I gained a point of streetwise, and like, much like the Benedict Cumberbatch, like, Sherlock adaptation, I probably have a homeless network now. I probably did drink some of their blood and share lots of wine with them. And now I really understand, like, poverty, work ethic in ways that I just didn't before. And I'm going to do what an intellectual does. I'm not going to take action. I'm going to write things about it. So here I go. I'm doing that. That's pretty much what I want to do right now. Except also, I think my eye is caught by the chess set.
Two things first. You were walking
Yes.
long enough that I think you can sneak in a hunting roll. Did Archibald see someone who was perhaps in some dark alley or behind a building or something and pounce upon the opportunity to top off his blood pool?
Well, I think what happened, the reason I have this big old wine in the first place is because I was palling around with some folks, some street people.
Oh my god, that's so large.
So I was just like getting buddy drinking wine, but I was a little tipsy. I got thirsty and I drank my friend. I drank my only friend.
Oh,
let's have you. Let's have you.
I think I just took a sip. I don't think I killed him or anything. I might have. I was pretty upset.
Let's have you roll for that. I can suggest, if you're beguiling someone into like, hey, coming around this corner where no one can see, that might be, I want to say manipulation plus empathy or plus performance, but honestly any combination of an attribute and an ability that you think is what you were using, you can use that. So what combo are you going to use?
I think it was less manipulative. I think that based on my whole, I think it was more of an appearance role because I was wearing my like coveralls and I don't think a shirt at this point, and I was covered in trash. And I think honestly, like I probably just got like invited into this circle, or just like this one dude invites me over to drink some wine in the alley, and we're just palling around. So I think it would be like appearance plus
making a friend that quickly definitely needs a roll. Appearance plus, I think, etiquette might potentially
etiquette works.
Is that what you're going with? Appearance plus etiquette? You're just so friendly and not offensive to this homeless person that you were invited into his alley.
I think that was it, yeah. So I've got 3 points of that, but I have a -1 to the roll because I'm hurt.
You can expend blood to heal yourself and get rid of those 2 wound levels that you have.
Yeah, sure. How much does that cost? Just an equivalent?
2 blood for 2 health levels.
I will do that.
You are fully healed. Go ahead and give me a roll with a dice pool of 4.
Every time my cat looks at the camera.
Why is it 4? Because I have 2
sorry, 3.
and 1 etiquette.
Yeah, sorry, it's 3. 1 success. Okay, you succeed, and you can draw as much blood as you would like from this person.
So how much would kill this guy?
All of his blood, but you are 5 down. You can take a maximum of 5 points of blood before you're full.
I'll take 5, but I don't want to kill the guy.
5 would definitely hospitalize him. That's half of his blood. That would put him, for every point of blood that you take from a mortal, it's a wound level that they have.
However, friend, hospitalization is not death.
I'm gonna take 3.
Yours in his mind.
But since I've been drinking a lot of wine, I think I mean to take 1 or 2. I take 3 and realize he's not looking so great, so I try to pour more wine in him to replace the blood, which is probably not a good medical move.
This helps convince him
would that get him drunk?
This helps convince him that he wasn't attacked by anyone. He just drank a whole lot, and he has a really bad hangover. You have
we are best friends now.
Do vampires get drunk?
If you drink the blood of someone who is drunk, and we kind of fudge it.
If you drink alcohol, you don't get.
Vampires, unless if you have the eat food merit, vampires immediately, according to the core rules, they immediately vomit up anything other than blood that they swallow. I have decided to house rule a way around that. If you expend a point of willpower, I think you can force yourself to keep something other than blood down and in your stomach for the duration of a scene.
Okay. And then you just puke
so I
back.
think I drank this guy's blood. Now I'm probably real drunk. Yeah.
Yeah, you might be drunk for a scene, and by the time you get back to, let's say, by the time you get back to the house, you're not quite sobered up. You're still a little tipsy, and I didn't want to mention this because you were on a roll, but once you're in the house and you sit down and you start writing, your head kind of comes to, and you remember walking past something in the driveway that you didn't recognize and wasn't there before. Some like vehicle or something.
Okay, I kind of like perk my head up from the desk, half remembering it. Now that I'm sobered up and I am once again Professor Alvins, I walk over to the window and kind of like poke open the blinds and try to check it out.
You see a small enclosed trailer. Like, you know how U-Haul has trailers that aren't like whole car size, but they're like a little smaller than that you can like hitch up to the back of your car and like tote around. Sometimes bands use these to lug around their instruments and like drum kits and amps and stuff if no one has like a van to cram that stuff into. You see a small enclosed trailer like that, and there is some sort of device on top of it, like mounted on the roof. And that's pretty much all the details that you get from the window.
Oh, would I have seen this? Would I have seen this when I checked out the house earlier?
You did not see this, no.
Okay.
I'm kind of squinting and scrutinizing.
There's a trailer and there's some sort of machine thing on top of it.
Yeah. I'm looking at it and I go, and then kind of turn around and go back to my desk. But then on the way there, I pause again. I'm like, wait a minute. This isn't Monopoly. You can't land on free parking at Delacroix Darby Manor. And then I open the door and I walk back out thinking, wasn't a very proletariat thing to think. And then I walk over.
Very conflicted.
So you investigate this trailer, and when you walk around it and see it from different angles, you see that the thing bolted on top of it is a spotlight, as a searchlight, a big, wide, round searchlight.
I know exactly where this is going. Hey, you two. You know how to really capture a Batman. The way you lure out a Batman, that's with a bat signal. Why don't you go find some flashlights around here? You go in the backyard, you guys go make a bat signal.
You see it's tilted kind of up. You see wires going from the searchlight
I have no idea what's happening.
Down into the interior of the trailer, which seems to be unlocked. When you open up the trailer like garage door kind of thing, inside you see 60 car batteries all wired up to each other. And when you flip this thing up, it kind of shifts and adjusts the trailer, and the searchlight kind of angles a bit down, and you see the Batman logo clearly. But you see some other things. You see that the searchlight has sort of a frame over it, and the Batman logo is a transparency sheet that's been slid over it. Yeah. When you look inside the trailer, you see that there's a folder with a bunch of other transparencies of different designs of the Batman logo from different comic iterations, different movies, TV series. The searchlight is mounted on a system of gears that appears to have come from at least 2 disassembled bicycles. And The bundle of wires coming off of it connects to a messily soldered circuit board with buttons labeled for up, down, left, right, on, and off.
I kind of like rest my hand on it and just look out into the darkness, trying to see if I can see the revenants. And I'm just like, good work, boys. Good work. I never doubted you for a second.
What the heck?
Going back to the chantry. Oh yeah, Darby had just suggested that all of you leave and go hunting and all of that. Leslie asks, okay, so I think it's best that you have a plan for what to do if this ambulance appears again. What would you say? Darby, you are the sheriff. What do you think the plan is?
Well, I liked your suggestion that we lure it away and settle this up once and for all. If we got hunters, we got to root them out and destroy them.
Do you know where you would lead the ambulance to?
I think the warehouse is the best suggestion. Gives us turf we can be familiar with, far away from everybody out in the business district. I think let's lead them to the warehouse.
I think that's a perfect idea.
Augustin doesn't say anything, but has a weirdly murderous glint in his eye.
And before you leave, I just want to reiterate that I was Prince Delacroix's advisor and counsel, and I would very much like for all of you to turn to me for advice and help if you are having trouble with your new responsibilities in this community. It is a role that I've had for years and I'm comfortable with. And well, let's face it, all of you are new and strange things are afoot. I urge you to call upon me if you need any advice or assistance.
Well, I think we got it pretty well under control. Thanks, Chief.
I urge you to mind your damn business.
That's good.
I said what I said. I'll regret it later.
Who was Augustine addressing?
That's good. We don't need to know.
You really don't. I'm just saying it to whoever the hell was
I'm
like.
trying to assuage what is happening. It's fine. We have your phone.
Leslie is maybe too lost in thought to notice that he was being very disrespectfully addressed by his subordinate. So Leslie,
his lack of response emboldens Augustin, who just like has a gleam in his eye. Just yeah, that's right. You receive that insult and just quietly pats himself on the back.
So anyway, Augustine,
I don't think Augustine does anything quietly. Just
Leslie turns to Augustine. So Augustine, you will be reporting back here tomorrow to begin your training of Lady Elizabeth. Also, there's the matter of the Bloodstone. If you would like to explore that's something that we can discuss tomorrow. I believe Lady Elizabeth needed some things picked up from an occult bookstore where we get some supplies, and you had agreed to...
For what purpose do we need these things to be retrieved? Is there a reason they are being laid on my lap and not that of a person of such office?
I believe you brought a kindred in torpor to Lady Elizabeth, who used most of the blood in her body, which she needs to survive, to wake this person. It's a fairly significant debt, and it's merely an errand to pick some things up. So I don't believe your recalcitrance is warranted. And also, there's the matter of the swamp, the fungal creature that attacked Barry. I believe this should be a prominent action item for all of you. Where's the prince, by the way? He's usually accompanying you.
Roundabout, hither and thither, to and fro, skipping to his loo, clocking the jizz, back and forth, up in town, just fucking painting the town red. Mind your damn business.
How much of
I agree to everything, it's fine.
How much of that Dr. Tran thing have you memorized?
Actually, most of it. I'm so glad you get that reference.
Okay,
I check cameras to try and find our prince, but I don't announce that fact.
I'm definitely being subordinate, but obstinate about the whole fucking thing. I just don't like being under somebody's thumb, so... Like, I reluctantly agree to... all but most of what they're asking me to do.
You leave Leslie, and he clearly has the assumption that you were going to do the things that were stated.
And we all know what assumptions do. They make an ass out of you. That's the end of the phrase.
Augustine thinks this to himself.
Is that how that goes?
Silent.
Assume makes ass out of you. I like that.
So Leslie,
I will use that.
Leslie stands as if all of you are about to leave.
Yep.
Does everyone leave?
We just hightail it back to the cars. Yeah, I am interested in a feeding run on the way back to Darby Manor. I think we're going home. And I'm kind of urgent on the feeding run. I mean, anticipating that the ambulance, given who we have with us, could turn up at any time.
They may hurt us. We need blood.
Everyone piles into the cars, and does everyone want to take an hour to hunt before they get back to the manor?
Darby is definitely going to do that.
How about we'll start with Darby. Anyone else who wants to hunt? Darby, what dice pool are you going to be using?
I think because I want this to go very quickly, and I'm not necessarily gonna. I don't have a lot of time, so I think I want to just kind of manhandle someone, like strength plus brawl, like abduct someone, and just feed on them in darkness.
Okay. You find someone. I don't think there's any reason to play out a whole scene. You find someone, and it's relatively not in public, not visible. Go ahead and make that roll.
I got 3 successes.
Do you do the standard 3 points of blood, or?
I think I don't.
You are
because I'm hungry.
You are hungry, so you actually have to make a
anyway.
Self-control roll.
I have failed badly. I botched it.
Oh.
So, I want to say Jade stays in the car to give you your privacy, and you're clearly just running out. You're trying to do it real quick, and you completely drain someone. Jade does not notice that anything strange is happening about this feeding, but you do totally drain someone of 10 points of blood, which is good for you.
Yeah, bad for them though. So what's my maximum? 13.
Your maximum is 15. You now have 12 blood.
I have 12.
And you come to, and you have a dead body in front of you.
Yeah, so I immediately feel terrible. This was not my intention at all, and I'm just like, so where am I? Tell me a little bit about the situation that I found myself in. Am I just in an alley off the street?
Yeah, you are. Darby, give me a conscience roll with a difficulty of 5.
I have 3 successes.
Excellent. You successfully feel terrible about what you did. Terrible enough to hang on to your humanity and not degenerate further. What do you do with the? Do you do anything with the body?
Yeah, I mean, I think from just the pure self-interest of it, and like trying to preserve the masquerade, I am trying to think of anything that I can do to justify this like completely drained human being. Like I'm looking around for like a sewer entrance. Like I'm looking for any place I could dispose of the body that it wouldn't be discovered very soon, or might have animals get at it.
You see the car that you arrived in.
Unfortunately, I think the only way to not get us all in trouble later is to take this inadvertent corpse with me. So I kind of pick him up and weekend in Bernie's his corpse as realistically as possible back to the car and explain to people. So I'm wondering what other people's reaction, and I guess we could decide how we divided the vehicles, but I would presume this kind of thing has happened to all of us and has happened to probably each of us before. And so I think Darby's just like, man, I was too hungry. I got carried away. I'm so sorry.
Where is his phone? We can make this look like an accident.
I need your help.
An accident?
This is not. I mean, he's out of blood. Like this,
or a suicide or something, and make it look like it was not us.
Someone took his blood and hid it.
No. Do we have a knife to make it look like he did this? Like on his neck? Like maybe he cut his own neck? And then on the phone...
And then didn't bleed at all because all his blood was already gone?
Could we use a point of blood to like... spit some back out?
Wait a minute. You might be onto something here.
To spit some of it back out, right?
Yeah, wait. Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
But to also send a message to somebody this phone that's just like goodbye or something, you know, like a note.
Where's
goodbye, I'm going to extract all my blood using one of those things morticians use.
Do we have a weapon that it could look like he used?
You all have lots of weapons. Darby is carrying a gladius.
No, I don't want to give him one of mine, but is there like a broken bottle we could say he used?
To drain all of his blood? All right. The only way all of his blood could have fallen out like naturally is if he was like hung over something and bleeding. And
hang it over a dumpster. There you go.
Okay, yeah. So look, I like your idea of using some of the blood that we got from him, just like a point of our own, to make it look more natural. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take him over. Is there a dumpster in the alley?
Yes.
So I'm going to take him over. I'm going to situate him like gravity is folding him into the dumpster, like it's way down.
I help you do this because I've done this exact thing before. Sure. I've done this before, exactly.
So yeah, we're positioning him so gravity looks like it's going to drain the blood out, and then we're going to give him a cut, and then I'll use one of the points
where the fangs where you cut them there, so they don't see that they're fangs.
That heals up. That does it heal up if you drain him all the way, or does it use its own body?
As long as you lick the wound, it heals automatically. It magically heals it.
Oh.
Okay, so I do that.
Okay.
And then I expend a point of blood through my mouth to make it
rewound him in some way to make it look like he took his own life.
Yeah, that's right. So we give him suicide wounds on his wrist, and we
put some blood there. Yes,
make a pool of blood at the bottom of the dumpster.
A vampire.
His arms are in there.
That's our play. We're gonna make him look like he killed himself and bled out in the dumpster.
So Darby, you use a point of your own blood for this?
That's right.
Noted. And then you just hightail it out of there?
Yeah. And I think Darby gives a look of appreciation to Excalibur because I think he was stressed out. He was feeling very, very sad about accidentally.
It's like, I've done this before. I'm not very good at this at the hunting.
Sociopathic Excalibur was just like, no problem. This is easy. Just make him look like he killed himself. I do this all the time. Yeah, so a look of gratitude from Darby, and so that's our play, and I think we just
I text whomever is marked in their phone as my boo, and it's spelled BOO because Halloween is close, and
well, it's still April in the game. Okay, so you start driving
Excavo special Halloween episode.
Excavo,
that is the Halloween part of the episode.
Is Excavo feeding also?
I would like to feed, yes.
Okay, give me a dice pool that you use for it based on your strategy.
Okay, so Dark Alley, same situation, nobody around. I want to sneak. I want to grab.
Sounds like stealth plus dexterity.
Yeah. Yes.
Give me
much.
a roll. Your dice pool is 5 for that. Difficulty should be lower than normal given the circumstances. You're looking for people in alleys. So, difficulty 5 for this.
3.
Okay.
4, 5.
Do you take the standard 3 points, or do you take more or less?
I would like to take 5 if... Yeah, sure, why not? That would put me at full.
Scava don't give a fuck.
Okay. The person collapses on the ground and is unresponsive and will likely die without hospitalization.
I lick the wound and I kind of scoot them close to the alleyway exit to see if anybody walking by will see them, and then I get out of there. Bye!
Ice cold. World of darkness indeed.
And I'm not touching them with my hands. I have found an old piece of clothing to use so I don't leave handprint on them.
Presumably, Excava wouldn't have fingerprints in any database.
I still think I'm human in some ways, and that is one of them. I'm like superstitious in that way. Yeah, that's how I always do it. If I don't have the cloth, it's bad luck for me if I don't.
Okay, give me a conscience roll, difficulty 8.
Oh! 2 success.
2 successes? Okay, you
Yes, a 9 and a 10.
you fully acknowledge that killing people is bad and inhumane, and you retain your humanity.
Oh, good. See?
Augustine, do you...
I do.
You.
I go feed.
What's your dice pool?
I'm not specifically hungry, so I'm trying to like schmooze, but I am bloodthirsty, so I don't otherwise care how discreet it is. I'm trying to like hang out wherever. Hold on. There's a more eloquent way for me phrasing this.
Oh no.
Is there?
Casual murder. I'm not particularly like looking for a specific demographic. I'm just
You're gonna
like
assassinate him.
out and about trying to make friends and unexpectedly ending their lives. I'm not actually ending their lives. My humanity's too high for that. But I don't care much for their health and well-being. I'm just out and about fucking around trying to make a friend and then leaving them waking up on a table they don't remember waking up on.
Okay, well, this is presumably something everyone's pulling off inside of like an hour or so. Making a friend, I could let you do that with, that sounds like charisma plus empathy, perhaps? And difficulty, I'm going to say standard difficult. You're trying to make friends with someone on the street? Or
just kinda just talking to whoever will listen to me.
to your humanity, how human do you look? Gonna have to say difficulty 8.
Fuck. Okay.
You have a nervous
Let's
twitch.
go!
You don't look particularly human.
Ho! 2 successes. I did it. 1 critical, so 3 successes.
All right, do you take the standard?
It's not a specialty, right?
No.
Correct. He wouldn't be using any specialty there. Do you take the standard 3 points?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd be at like 9 blood. Like I'm bloated. Like a rosy tomato, just like every pore is oozing blood at this point because I'm just fucking full of blood.
You're actually about
like a blood balloon.
You're 2/3 full of blood. You have 9 of 15.
Oh shit, I forgot I had such a broad blood pool. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So I'm a 2/3 full water balloon. Let's go.
all of you end up back at Darby Manor at about the same time. You pull up in your vehicle. Jade pulls up in her vehicle. When Jade gets out, she goes to Darby and says, I really thought you guys were going to get here before me. I hope it was okay. I stopped and I fed on...
Why would that not be okay? You're fine.
Roll the dice. Roll the dice.
I actually did.
Is this the one?
It came up 8.
Oh, all right.
It's not the one.
Oh, not the one. All right, damn. All right, well, good for you. No problem. That's what we were doing too. But we had a bunch of us that had to take an errand. So
yeah, that's okay. You don't have to ask. It's okay.
Jade says,
"Yeah, that's right. That's right."
Hey, what's that? And she points to the trailer with the bat signal on top of it.
Is the prince out there still? Are we reunited?
I think right as you are like kind of looking around and wondering, I think I opened the door, and at this point I have this whole manuscript, this stack of papers, and I'm just signing, and I'm kind of writing out loud, and I say, dedicated to my friend, comma, Onion Jack. And then I look up. That's his name. His name's Onion Jack. That's just the guy's name. He didn't have a name in the earlier scene.
You're just swimming over there.
So then I...
Oh, the homeless guy that you fed from?
Yeah, the homeless guy is named Onion Jack. He's my best friend.
Onion Jack.
So
you gave him that nickname because you met him while he was masturbating with an onion.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
A stack of onion rings that he was using as a fleshlight.
Well, the worst part about it is
the one woman in the group.
It was just a regular onion when he started.
Oh, he was an onion?
It went solidly through.
And I was an unman.
Just cored it out. Does anyone...
Okay, dedicated to Onion Jack. I'm like, oh, everybody, you're back. Welcome back, team.
What is this?
I saved the bat signal for you.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
I didn't want to try it without you guys.
Oh no.
Well, you know how the revenants, right? The Tremere fellas, they built us a bat signal so we can find Batman.
Wasn't it Archibald's suggestion?
It was.
Instructions?
It was my suggestion.
You did this.
Yeah, and we have a bat signal now. How great is that?
Well, I mean, come on, let's fire it up.
Yeah, I think we ought to.
What's the worst that could happen?
So the door
of the
I don't think we should put a huge beam on ourselves. We've been followed.
I do not particularly care for the Sixcavo character, but I think they are correct.
Well, it's located.
Fired. Wow, all right.
Hey, it's on a trailer. Hitch that up to the Aston Martin. And does an Aston Martin have a trailer hitch?
I don't
know much about cars.
His left eye starts twitching, like noticeably.
It must just take it out for a spin.
We're gonna have to hook it up to the Escalade. Oh, the Escalade's been destroyed. Oh man. Well.
We have a Lamborghini.
Neither one of those is gonna take a trailer very well.
You're shaving? What?
Maybe if we just
what?
put it, hold up a sheet over it. It won't. We can see what it'll look like, but it won't do the big beam.
Friend, if I may, a sheet may be not enough. Should it rain, it will reveal the form, and sometimes cloth is see-through. So somebody may see the looking.
I don't think he's suggesting.
You're referring to a sheer fabric.
I don't think he's suggesting hiding the whole thing.
Why would he put a sheet on it? What?
Mayhaps
if we are holding a sheet away from
that was quick.
Mayhaps if we're hiding this vehicle, it should be a tarp, more resistant to the elements, friend.
A tarp would be perfect.
Why would we put a tarp on a spotlight and then turn on a spotlight? What are we doing?
Not on it. We hold it
like a projector screen
above it a little bit, so we just see it on there, so we can see what it looks like. Hey,
just shine it on the side of the building if that's what we do.
Well, that too. Hey, those little guys worked really hard on this project, probably, and they did a good job. I counted at least
looking
60
at this,
car batteries in there.
Much better. If this is what we wanted, I could have done it.
Well, here's the thing, boss, and I explained to him our plan to lure the paramedics. So I update him on what happened, and just so let's just say you know what we've been through.
So I take it to the warehouse and do it there.
That's what I'm saying. So we're in the business of trying to generate a lot of attention on ourselves anyhow, and if we can get a paramedic to show up as well as, who knows, the man bat, then we could kill two birds with one stone on some friendly territory.
I'm afraid we might attract people, though. Like, people love Batman. I'm afraid they might see this and come.
Do we have the number of said DJ person who has been the siren of this town? Can we?
Harpy? Yeah.
Yeah, a harpy. Can we set him up a booth?
You're saying that in addition to a bat signal, we could also have a bat siren.
A bat party.
No!
In front of Darby Manor.
No! This might attract humans.
We'll need to call the ghost of Prince.
I'd be fine with that. My phone is working. We confirmed it earlier. I received a phone call.
I'm going to step in.
I can call Prince.
What is everyone trying to do? What are you currently trying to accomplish?
I think we're trying to lure out the ambulance.
Right, but we don't want to also bring in people. We want to keep human away.
But right? But Darby Manor is massive. Like, we can lure the ambulance people
have large
inside.
Houses. That's not pointing straight at us, though.
Yeah, look, I agree with Excavo. We shouldn't shit where we eat, all right? We're not trying to cause a big ruckus, generate attention at my house, all right? This ain't Excavo Manor, all right?
Just because it is named Darby Manor does not mean it belongs to Darby.
I mean, I can't read that contract anymore, but I'm pretty sure it said that I'm a lord or something, and that this whole thing is mine now. But look, that's not even important right now. What's important is that we don't want the ambulance or the bat creature just showing up at our house.
Right.
What if we, like a garage sale, put out signs that were, if driving an ambulance, parking in the rear.
All we need to do is just drive around and they will find us, as they have multiple times now. That's
what if we
need
just
to do.
change the bat thing to like a big letter H, and they'll think that it's like a hospital, and they'll probably follow it to the end of like the rainbow.
We'd get a lot of
I'm saying we don't need it because we've never needed it before. Why do we need it now?
I have an idea.
An idea?
I think it's really Augustine's idea. I think take everything to the warehouse and the DJ. Big bat party battle. If we have a bat signal and we all dress up as Batmen, everyone will think it's just a Batman fan convention, when in reality is a trap for us to lure the paramedics in.
If I were a human, I would 1000% go to that.
And then if everyone sees us using our supernatural powers to dispatch these vampire hunters, they'll think we're the heroes and that they're just a couple of jokers.
But we'd use our vampire abilities to do that.
But they would see that, but we'd be dressed as Batman, and they'd think, oh yes, it's Batman using his superpowers.
No, we have to be subtle. We cannot ruin the masquerade. I know this is so exciting. I know. I
guess
Batman
the real
is actually I am a fan, but we
one
can't
of the
do
big
that
issues
in this scenario in particular.
Does a bat signal work on a swamp thing in the first? Are we trying to lure the swamp thing, or the paramedics, or both?
No, just the paramedics. Let's do one thing at a time.
Look, it looks like those paramedics have some way to find us. So I think we have got to assume that they're going to find us when they want to find us.
Right. So, they always find us when we're driving around. So if we just drive around and then drive to the warehouse, they will follow us there.
But look, we can't sit around waiting for them to do that. Like,
right, we'd be driving around. We wouldn't be sitting around.
We need to have something else we're working on.
Dear God, friends, look at the time. I'll be right back. I have somewhere to be. And I fetch the bear, and I hop in whichever vehicle I happen to have keys to, and I just blast off, going to the warehouse.
I don't believe you. Darby would have the keys to
Darby and Jade,
Aston Martin, and Jade has the keys to the Lamborghini.
The warehouse right now. We don't have time tonight.
Thinking I had the keys, I hop into the front seat of the nearest vehicle and go to flip the ignition, and nothing happens, and I aggravatedly just sit there waiting for it to turn on.
Jade, all we need to do is drive around. Jade, they will find us. We drive to the warehouse. There we go.
Jade holds up the keys to the Lamborghini.
What time is it?
It is a little past 3. I'm going to say it's 3:30 a.m. So you actually do have
rest and do that tomorrow.
You have a couple more hours before. You have at least 3 hours before sunrise.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a fan of my plan. We just get in the car and they will follow us.
And we may be able to at least get to know something about it. Now
we can do more. We can watch more video.
If they are, that's a good idea. If they are vampire hunters, though, they're going to want to get us as close to sunrise as they can.
I've also got a question, which is, I thought we didn't hook up the surveillance cameras to the phone. I thought we had to go back there in order to do that.
Right, I need to get inside, and then we set up and we look at video and we try to see where else they've been.
Yeah, we had
to take a computer back all the way down to the screen.
We don't have a live feed. We don't have a live feed.
To
we
clarify,
don't have a live feed, right? But we can look at past video, which I have.
Yeah, here are the two things you have. You have a USB drive with recordings from the past 48 hours, and you have the knowledge that you can bring a computer down into the tunnels to set up your remote access to live feeds.
And having that, if we're trying to locate these people instead of getting them on our terms, it would be good to have that established first.
Yeah. Does Excavo intend to check out the other camera feeds?
Yes.
Oh, you mean the recorded ones? Yeah.
What we have in the last 2 days?
Yes. On the USB drive, there is in Prince Delacroix's study. There is an old laptop, an old IBM ThinkPad that looks like it is maybe 10 years old, but it's on his desk, and when you open it up and boot it, it boots up. It's slow, it's not great, but there is a computer available in Darby Manor.
Yes, that's fine. I plug in the USB. Let's see if they've been to Club Wonderland. Exterior.
You see a split screen of 3 cameras that appear to be mounted at 3 corners of the building, all looking down. Their views are all partially obscured by teeth around the edges of the camera, as if you're looking out from the inside of an animal's mouth.
Of course.
One of the cameras,
like scarecrows or something.
Well, one of the cameras is in the back of the building and is looking at the parking lot that runs alongside it, and the other 2 are at the front of the building and are pointed down at the pedestrians coming in and out of the club. Occasionally, you see one of these cameras zooming in or out, or panning to follow someone. It's about 3:30, so last call just happened, and you see everyone leaving Club Wonderland and getting in the cars and leaving. And it appears that someone who's working security at Club Wonderland is just moving the cameras around and keeping an eye on everyone. As one of the cameras pans and reorients itself, you catch a brief glimpse of a tarp covering a large object in the center of the roof of Club Wonderland, next to what looks like 3 naked men who are standing next to it with their backs to the camera.
Bamboo cocky?
Hey, everybody, come look at this. What is this?
You can rewind it a little bit to see like a freeze frame of that, but you catch it when the camera's panning over, so it's blurred and you don't make out a lot of details. But it looks like there's some large object with a tarp over it on the roof of Club Wonderland, and it looked an awful lot like there were 3 naked men sort of standing around it with their backs to the camera.
So there's a second bat signal.
The butt signal.
And we are at about 2 hours right now. So unless if anyone else wants to get something done real quick, I suggest this is where we end this session. And we'll pick it back up next time.
I head to that chess set. That's what I'm all about.
With a glint of vengeance in my eyes.
Against who? For what?
Don't ask questions! Darby does as Darby is. I'm not Darby, but I wish I were.
Most people do, Chief.
I go to the chess set with, like, the intent to just obliterate our prince in a game of chess.
Oh.
But I am otherwise, like, absolutely feisty as fuck and just ready to go. For reasons unknown, I am cocked and loaded and just ready to rip somebody asunder. And chess seems like a good way to go.
Darby doesn't pick up on any of that, and he jumps one of Blake's pieces over one of Augustine's pieces, one of Andy's pieces. It's just like, king me! Ha ha! I'm good at this one. Gotcha!
Like, you guys start just, like, moving the pieces in ways that don't make sense, and I'm, like, trying to...
You're like,
no, I, like, pull out the documents of the correspondence chess game, and that's, like, what I'm actually trying to look at. I'm not trying to play anybody. So
all the while you're doing that...
you guys are playing chess badly.
So
all the while you're doing that, fucking Darby is moving pieces, and I'm, like, slapping his hand and... moving pieces back, and we're just being fucking children.
Except really that's just my setup for going into the next episode, which I presume is that our day off fun training times episode.
Up to you.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff we could do. I don't think any of it is like particularly urgent, so we could definitely make a plan and get a bunch of shit done.
We'd been talking about having like a side day, and that's definitely what I want to do on my side day.
Yeah, I think let's tee up for the next day being like everybody kind of on their own.
Can we do
have the beach episode?
That's right.
Well, so we're 1 week offset. Would it be possible that the immediate week coming we can do our off week and we talk to you, Phantom, and we have our off week, and then the week after our now normal week of play, we resume where we kind of left off?
You mean have individual scenes just like one-on-one with a player and me?
I'm fine with that approach, and I think it does kind of make sense. You could write it out, you could act it out however was easiest to do it. It may be the most efficient way for everyone to go about what they want to do on their own, but I do think just for the purpose of the stream and the recording for perpetuity, we should probably start the next major session with an explanation of everything that we did that went on for the viewer.
So right now, Darby, Augustine, and Archibald are all doing stuff with or around the chess set. Excavo is in the study on the laptop. Jade is on her way to her room, and a few things will need to be wrapped up before the next day passes. But you can we can like pre-plan like what specifically you're doing with your day, and we can work that out online in the next week. And then once you do all wake up, we can kind of fast forward to the next day, and we can just say like, it's predetermined that Darby does this and Augustine does this, Archibald does this. Okay, now you all wake up again because it's yet another day. We can do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that sounds good to me. I don't know how everybody else feels about that.
That's fine.
I don't know that I fully understand it, but I trust your judgment as a DM.
I mean,
instead of
I think it's what you suggested, Andy.
Yeah,
I think
it's the thing.
Cool.
Cool.
My biggest concern was literally you as a DM. Like, I assume that doubles effectively your work, and
not really. I'll chat with you guys and figure out what your intentions are, and we'll just exchange some like text messages, and then I'll put it into like a narration that I just explain what happens with everyone on the next day.
Sure.
Well, that sounds fantastic, and I appreciate you being flexible.
All right. Anyone want to spend some experience points?
I was thinking with my my quick thinking about the dead body situation.
That was great.
I feel like there'd be a point to merit somewhere for that.
Wits, if you can afford it.
Ooh, yeah.
So
how much would it be? Because I have 3 right now.
So that would be 12. 12 points to get your 4th dot.
Oh, I can't do it yet. Okay. Maybe I'll just save it for that.
Sure.
Maybe that's what I'll do.
I mean, wits is really good. Getting those extra dots at the top, I think, are extremely, like, if you're min-maxing, right, like, are extremely like metagame strong, because those go into more challenges, because there are fewer of them, and you always have to pick one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna save mine, and then at the end of the next session, I think that's what I'll do, is just get a point there. So no point right now.
I have kind of like some long-term plans of stuff that I want to do. I want to get the 2nd level of celerity. I want to get the 4th level of both firearms and melee. But I really think that what Darby has been acting out has been, silly as it is, it's really leadership. Like, he's been kind of taking the lead in these investigations and the response to the criminal threat, and I think he's been doing a surprisingly adequate job at it, even despite thinking he has to be John Wayne and all the other handicaps that he has. So I think I am going to spend 3 points just kind of on a casual point of leadership, because I think I've been role-playing it, and it seems appropriate.
All right.
Yeah, we don't even need our... It's whatever.
Darby has his first point of leadership.
So, I've been saving points to learn new Tremere Path of Blood skills, rank 1, correct?
If that's the specific path of thaumaturgy that you're most interested in pursuing, then yes, you have been doing that.
Okay. I think that's what I've been up to. The 2 things I'm looking at online...
It has been mentioned that there are other paths of thaumaturgy that are available in the Chantry for people to teach you, though.
Sure. The 2 I'm looking at, if you have the ability and time and will, bind the accusing tongue.
That's a ritual?
I believe so. Let me double check the...
Yeah, that is. To learn that, you would have to find someone who knows it, or like a book or something that you could learn it from.
Okay, so that one I would need to exhibit some extra effort in. What about Wake with Evening's Freshness?
Oh, that applies to all rituals. You'd need to find a source for learning it, and you would need to spend a bunch of time to learn it. But rituals don't actually cost any experience points to learn.
Okay. Can I hold on spending my experience, and in the coming week when we talk about what the fuck we do in our off day, can we talk about it then, so I can talk with you more in depth
I would propose that, like, it would be fair to give Andy some sort of alternative methodology for spending his points. Like, it seems, since he wants to learn thaumaturgy and it's so time related, like, just unfair, that he's unable to invest in what he wants to get. I don't know.
Well,
I just feel bad. He's sitting on, like, 25 experience points, an incredible amount of experience points.
Well, he can start learning thaumaturgy. He could even, if he puts in more time, he could study multiple paths at the same time, and even at some point get like multiple dots of thaumaturgy from different paths,
so it's
simultaneously.
Not similarly it's not capped like the other attributes are. You can get one of each path.
Yeah.
Isn't the 1 month rule? Each one is evaluated individually.
Yeah, each path is treated as effectively, its own discipline, because they're different. They're different things that you're learning and improving.
Got it. That's where I was confused. I was like, man, like, okay, you got one thing of thaumaturgy, now you're boned.
And even that, thaumaturgy has, unlike other disciplines, a specific like language in the core rulebook about how long it takes to learn stuff. And it can take really long to learn new paths and new rituals. I think like level 1 rituals can be learned in like, it's general, but it says like level 1 is days, level 5 might be months or years. I did plan on introducing a mechanism that might allow Augustine to learn stuff without expending that much time, like a way to get an intense crash course in these things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. It sounds like you've been thinking about it.
I would be more than happy to discuss these things in a private session.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Just for sake of time and having your undivided attention for those things.
But you're not spending any experience points right this minute on anything?
No, I want to spend them this week, but I don't think there are any immediate skills that necessitate my pushing on. I really just want to spend them on rituals, and I think that's the one-on-one thing.
You get rituals for free, actually, if you put in the time.
Sure. I just want to make sure that like we talk over what rituals are available where I put those skills.
Okay, sounds like a plan. All right. Well, anything else?
All right.
Is this it?
No, I think we're good.
Awesome. Okay. Awesome session, everybody.
Until next time.
All right. Bye, everybody.